Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling invisible, as if your words carried no weight, no matter how carefully you chose them? Many people believe respect is gained by being the loudest in the room, by dominating every space with force. But the Stoics knew a different truth. The real strength lies not in raising your voice, but in mastering it. Imagine sitting across a table in a heated debate, and instead of losing your temper, you deliver one calm phrase that silences the room. That's the kind of power we're talking about today. Power without shouting, influence without aggression, and respect without intimidation. Respect, in the Stoic sense, is not demanded. It's inspired. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the Roman Empire with unmatched authority, wrote that true power is self-control. He didn't need to yell to command an army. His words carried weight because they came from clarity and conviction. And that's exactly what we're going to explore. 5 phrases so effective, so grounded in wisdom, that they can shift the way others see you and the way you carry yourself. 3 of them come from timeless principles already tested. 2 of them are new adaptations, crafted for modern life but with the same Stoic spirit. If you stay with me until the end, you'll have a set of tools that can transform your interactions, whether with colleagues, friends, family, or even strangers who test your patience. The first phrase is simple, yet it's a shield of dignity. I understand your point, but I disagree. You see, this phrase does something extraordinary. It acknowledges the other person's perspective, which makes them feel heard, while still making your position crystal clear. It avoids hostility, but it also avoids submission. Imagine you're in a meeting, and someone proposes an idea that you know is flawed. Instead of bluntly saying, "That's wrong," you take a breath and calmly say, "I understand your point, but I disagree." The room shifts. People realize you're not dismissing opinions, but you're not bending to them either. Seneca once wrote that separating emotion from judgment is the foundation of wisdom. This phrase embodies exactly that. You're calm, firm, and independent. Now let's move to another phrase, one that creates an invisible boundary around your dignity. I don't find that appropriate. Life is full of moments where someone crosses the line with a joke, a comment, or a suggestion that undermines respect. Most people laugh nervously or say, "Nothing," thinking silence will protect them. But silence often gives permission. When you calmly state, "I don't find that appropriate," you are signaling that there are boundaries that cannot be crossed. You're not insulting anyone. You're not escalating the conflict. You're simply standing on the ground of self-respect. Epictetus reminded his students that no one can harm your soul unless you grant them permission. This phrase is your way of not granting it. The third phrase takes us deeper, into the art of redirecting conflict. Let's talk when we can do so respectfully. Picture this. You're in the middle of an argument, voices rising, interruptions flying. The temptation is strong to meet fire with fire. But Stoicism is the art of resisting that pull. With this phrase, you shift the dynamic instantly. You're not backing down, you're setting the terms. You're essentially saying, "I value this conversation enough to continue, but not like this." The moment you say it, the tension cracks. Sometimes the other person falls silent. Sometimes they rethink their tone. Either way, you've reminded them, and yourself, that respect is the condition for dialogue. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Here, you exercise that power to protect your peace. Now let's add one of the new phrases, crafted for today's world of endless debates and social pressure. That's not something I'm willing to compromise on. This phrase is a fortress. It communicates that some values, some principles, are not up for negotiation. Think of how often we face situations where people try to push us into agreeing, laughing along, or going with the flow. But strength lies in drawing a line. Imagine a friend insisting you join in behavior you don't agree with, or a colleague pressuring you to bend the rules. You stand firm, look them in the eye, and say, "That's not something I'm willing to compromise on." There's no aggression, just unwavering clarity. The Stoics believed that freedom was the ability to live according to reason and virtue, not the whims of others. This phrase is a modern echo of that timeless freedom. The fifth phrase combines respect with independence. Your opinion is valid, but I hold a different one. This one is subtle but powerful. It acknowledges that others have the right to their thoughts while affirming your own. It's a way of saying, "I respect you, but I'm not bound to agree with you. Imagine a heated family dinner where someone insists on convincing you of their worldview. Instead of diving into endless counter-arguments, you respond calmly. Your opinion is valid, but I hold a different one. The conversation softens. There's nothing left to fight against, yet you've held your ground. Seneca warned that slavery to the opinions of others is the harshest prison. This phrase unlocks the door. Notice the thread running through all 5 phrases. None of them requires shouting, insulting, or demeaning the other person. They're not about crushing your opponent. They're about elevating yourself. Stoicism teaches us that respect is not conquered by force. It is inspired by character. Each phrase is like a tool, light to carry, easy to use, yet capable of cutting through arrogance, disrespect, or chaos. They protect your peace while projecting strength. So let's recap. I understand your point, but I disagree. I don't find that appropriate. Let's talk when we can do so. Respectfully, that's not something I'm willing to compromise on. Your opinion is valid, but I hold a different one. Use them with calm, not with pride. With firmness, not with anger. And you'll notice how people around you begin to pause before speaking, how they weigh their words more carefully, and how they start treating you with the respect you've always deserved. Because respect, in the end, is not about control. It's about presence. If you found value in this, give this video a like. It helps more people discover these timeless lessons. Subscribe if you haven't already, because here we dive deep into Stoic wisdom and how it can transform everyday life. And before you go, check out the next video I've linked. It will take these principles even further, showing you how to not only earn respect, but to live with unshakable confidence. Until then, remember, the loudest voice rarely commands the most respect. The calmest one does.